Hi, everybody. I wanted to provide a quick intro to Chapter 16, Government Accounting for State and Local Governments. State and local governments, just as a very quick intro, state with the 50 states in the United States. Within each state, there are counties and also towns. So in New Jersey City is located within Hudson County, and Hudson County is located within the state of New Jersey. Each of these local governments must use government accounting, which is the subject of Chapter 16. Government accounting is going to be dealing with a public paradigm. So we are moving away from the for-profit paradigm, where businesses are engaged in a particular, product or service for a profit motive, and we're now in a public funding, public good sort of paradigm. And you can see some of the services that governments provide on the slide here. It's very important that from a big picture point of view, we understand that we are in this realm of looking at these services and the types of services that are provided. We drill down a little bit and look at the types of services and sort of how we consume the services. And I want you to think about your own personal experience with the government here, because it will help you kind of latch on to some of these key concepts. The nature of the activities that we are accounting for help give context to why the accounting rules look the way they do. Okay, we're going to see in a moment that within government accounting, we're going to be focused on this idea of fund accounting. Okay, fund accounting. Fund accounting is a way to allow us to track revenues in and expenses out based on the type of activity that we are accounting for. Okay, there are two main types of activities within government accounting, two main that are shown here at least: business activities and governmental activities. And the bifurcation here is really important. Business activities are where we consume government services in sort of a fee context. So think about getting onto the PATH train or getting onto a public transit bus. You are paying a fee to get onto that mode of transport. On a golf course, you're paying a fee to access the golf course. And the idea here is that the service is provided by the government, and the person using the service is helping basically cover the cost through the fee itself. If you don't go to the golf course, you're not helping fund the golf course. Okay? That would be a business type activity. Contrast that with a governmental activity, which is like a fire department. This is an activity that everyone pays for and everyone can consume, regardless of your ability to pay. Now, when I say everyone pays for it, what I mean is local property tax, for instance, pays for the fire department. So even if you never use the fire department, your local property tax will help pay for the fire department. Okay, there's no fee base. There's no basis of like a fee. There's no user type, arrangement here. The fire department is funded and it is available to all. So another way to think about this from a user perspective is, you go to you have a fire in your home. The fire department comes, puts out the fire. They are not going to ask you for a check to pay for their services before they leave. Okay, so we're going to see that governmental funds are used to track governmental activities. Proprietary funds are used to track business activities. And these are the two main types of activities we're going to focus on in Chapter 16. Now, objectives with government accounting, like I said earlier, the idea here is that we are fulfilling societal needs with our government. We are not looking to track a profit motive. And the main emphasis here is stewardship. Okay, so let's look at the main categories of funds. I want to focus on this, and I want to really emphasize that fund accounting requires that you memorize the types of funds. You're going to need to know this for the CPA exam. I want you to start memorizing it now as a baseline so that when you go to take the CPA exam, you'll be able to hit the ground running. We have governmental funds, proprietary funds, and fiduciary funds. So what we just looked at earlier on this slide, governmental funds and proprietary funds. Okay, those are the first two here. Fiduciary funds were not on the previous slide, but fiduciary funds are it's another type of government activity where the government holds assets in trust or in an agency capacity. And an example of this might be, retirement savings or that kind of thing for government employees. Got more about fiduciary funds later in the slide deck. Just know that there are three main categories of funds. Each of these is a type of activity that the government engages in. Let's look at the fund types within each category. You must memorize these 9 fund types, okay? You must memorize this for the CPA exam. You must know, for instance, that the 5 governmental funds are the General Fund, Special Revenue Fund, Capital Projects Fund, the Debt Service Fund, and the Permanent Fund. Okay? The 2 proprietary funds are the Enterprise Fund and the Internal Service Fund. The 2 fiduciary funds are the trust and agency funds. Okay? My goal is, as we leave chapter 16, you can memorize this and I can test you on it and you'll have it all memorized. Now, in terms of what these funds do, okay, because this is not obviously just about memorization. I have here on the slides, I'm not going to use this video to kind of go through this in detail, but each of these funds serves a purpose. They serve a purpose to account for a different type of activity that the government is engaging in. Okay, I'm going to let you guys look at the slides at your own leisure, but I just want you to know that they're here and the different types of funds. We will discuss this more the week after Thanksgiving, and I can, of course, answer any questions. Your homework in Chapter 16, the assessment questions will look to kind of go over or test you on what we just walked through. The computational homework is going to be more looking at or kind of thinking through how we apply some of this. So kind of creating a balance sheet or a revenue and expenditure statement within a government entity. And we'll do more of that when we meet again in class over Zoom. So if I were to suggest anything, if you wanted to work on anything ahead of this Thanksgiving week, if you choose to, it would be the extra credit assignment, because the extra credit assignment will give you the opportunity to look at Jersey City's annual audit. So it might be interesting, especially if you live in Jersey City or maybe just are curious about Jersey City if you commute here or live here for school. But also, it will just give you some real world flavor as to the a real government and kind of what an annual report would look like. And then we can meet again the week after Thanksgiving. Thank you.